Hello, this is Alex, and I'm going to be giving a summary of part 1 of the Joy Luck Club, which goes to page 83. So, the Joy Luck Club basically consists of many different small stories, however they're all interconnected, and part 1 has 4 parts to it. The first part is about Jingmei Wu and Su Yanwu, the second part is about Anmei Su, third part about Lindo Zhan, and fourth part about Yingying St. Clair. So part 1 kind of gives an introduction to the history and the creation of the Joy Luck Club and the people who are in it, and it is mainly about Jingmei Wu and Su Yanwu. And Su Yanwu is the mother of Jingmei Wu. So the Joy Luck Club is a group of 4 Chinese women who got together to play mahjong and eat and talk together as a way of coping and trying to forget about their lives during the Sino-Japanese War. And when these women eventually immigrate to the US, they bring this tradition along with them. So the first part is mostly about Jingmei Wu's mother, Su Yanwu, who lived in Guilin, China during the war and loved mahjong, and eventually found the 3 other women in this club to join her, and where they would meet up, play mahjong, and try to forget about their struggles that they were going through during their lives at this time. Eventually, when Su Yanwu moved to America, she had Jingmei, and that leads to the present time of the story. Oh, sorry, these are pictures of Guilin during the war, and that is Jingmei Wu. Okay, the second part is about Anmei Su, and it is called Scar. Anmei Su is the second auntie of the Joy Luck Club, and that's her right there. And this part kind of gives a backstory about her when she was a little girl. And it's about how during her grandmother's dying days, Anmei was 9, and her grandmother would tell her different myths and stories while she was on the bed during her dying days. And her grandmother actually scared Anmei a lot when she was little, because her grandmother would tell her these scary stories and always condemned Anmei's mother, because Anmei's mother abandoned Anmei when she was only a very little girl, and her mother also led a very shameful life. And the backstory of Anmei's scar basically happened when she was younger, and it occurred when she was burned by hot soup. However, the scar kind of symbolizes the traumatic backstory that she had when she was a little girl and how her mother had abandoned her. And the third part is about Lindo Zhan, the third auntie of the Joy Luck Club, and it is called The Red Candle. Lindo Zhan's backstory is about her being put in an arranged marriage at 2 years old by her parents to a boy named Tian Yu, who was a spoiled son of the Huangs. And this Huang family was a very rich and respectable family. However, because the Huang family was above Lindo's family, they often looked down on Lindo, which is the reason why when she moved in with the Huangs at 12 years old, Tian Yu and Tian Yu's mother, Huang Tai, always treated her like a servant and complained about her cooking and her cleaning. And eventually, when their wedding was planned, when Lindo was 16, there were 2 red candles lit on their marriage day to symbolize husband and wife, but it was also meant to show their everlasting marriage as long as neither flame went out. So there was a servant left to watch the candles. And despite the wedding day being a very sad day for Lindo, she remembered that she had to keep her promise to her parents that she would stay in this marriage and to preserve her parents' honor. And later that night on their wedding day, Tian Yu's candle actually went out. However, Lindo was the only one that saw that happen. And then later on, Huang Tai expected a grandson from them. However, Tian Yu never made any moves toward Lindo, and Lindo eventually learned to love him only as a little brother and not as a husband. And then Lindo later on came up with a plan into tricking the Huangs into ending the marriage themselves, and it worked, and Huang Tai ordered Lindo to leave the house and for the marriage to be over, and Lindo got a ticket to Beijing and money to go to America. Okay, the last part of part 1 of the Joy Luck Club is about the 4th auntie of the Joy Luck Club, and her name is Yingying St. Clair, and this part is called The Moon Lady. This gives a backstory of Yingying when she was 4 years old, and she had a wish for the Moon Lady. Ying has always been a very quiet and selfless girl, and she always kept her mouth shut to the point where later on even her own daughter would never hear her or notice her. However, that day when she was 4 years old, when her family went to a ceremony, her and her family spent a whole afternoon at Tai Lake. However, later that afternoon, Ying's family left her behind as she got in trouble for spoiling her fancy clothes. And so she sat there by the Tai Lake all afternoon, and eventually when it got dark, Ying saw a stage with an actress pretending to be the Moon Lady. However, as she was 4 years old, Ying thought it was the real Moon Lady, so she was calling out to this actress, telling her that she wanted to tell the Moon Lady a wish. Eventually, the Moon Lady never ended up hearing her, and Ying's family found Ying again. And as the years went by, Ying could never remember what she wanted to tell the Moon Lady that night. However, one day she remembered, and it was that she wanted to be found. So that's the conclusion of part 1, as it gives backstories about the Joy Luck Club and the aunties in it.